Hello. Today we would be studying the basics of compound interest. Compound interest. Before getting into that, let's understand some basics of compound interest. The first term would be P, which is the principal amount. This is nothing but the loan amount. Next is the R, which is the agreed rate of interest. Agreed rate of interest. Suppose it's 5%. That means for every rupees 100 borrowed, the interest per annum would be rupees 5. Next is the interest, which is calculated from the R and the principal. And next is the time period. The time period for which the loan is availed. This is also represented by N. And finally, we come to the amount A, which is to be returned after n years. This is nothing but P plus I. Now, in case of simple interest, as the name suggests, it's very simple. We say that simple interest I equal to P into R into time divided by 100. So this is, we directly substitute the number of years here. This shows that the interest is common for every year and the principal will not change, will be common for all the years. And so if you borrowed for 3 years, that means the interest for 3 years would be P into R into 3 upon 100. Now, what is the difference between this and the compound interest? Let's find out. Let me write here the number of years, N, here the principal, which is P, and here the rate of interest, which is R, here interest, I, and lastly the amount, A, which we know is P plus I. Initially, the first year, the principal would be P and the rate of interest would be R, and the interest for the first year would be, I will be P into R into 1 upon 100. At the end of first year, the amount would be P plus this interest, which is P into R upon 100. I can write it as P into 1 plus R upon 100 when I take this term outside. Now, at the beginning of year 2, the new principal would be this, what we have calculated here. So the principal for year 2, P2, would be P into 1 plus R upon 100. Are we clear about this? Whatever we have arrived at the amount at the end of the first year, we are substituting here. This is the difference between the compound interest and the simple interest. The rate of interest continues to be R and the interest would be now the rate applied on the new principal, that is P into 1 plus R upon 100 times R upon 100. Are we clear about this? Here we did P into R upon 100. Here we do the new principal into R upon 100. So the new amount would be P into, we know that amount is P plus I, where the P is this P2. So P into 1 plus R upon 100 plus the interest, which is P into 1 plus R upon 100 into R upon 100. So this simplifies to A equal to, you can see that this term is common in both. So when I take it out, it would be P into 1 plus R upon 100 into 1 plus R upon 100. So this translates to P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole square. So when you say the number of years is 2, that means if the number of year is 2, the amount is P into 1 plus R by 100 whole square. If we continue in the same way for 3 years, we get A at the end of third year would be P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power 3. And for n years, A at the end of nth year would be P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power n. This is how the compound interest is arrived. Suppose, let's say that we borrow a principal P for n years at the rate of interest R, then the final amount to be paid at the end of n years would be A equal to P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power n. In the next session, we'll be doing some problems to establish this formula. Thank you.